Hi, this is Mark. This is Monday the 17th of March. I am waiting for New York to open for the stock market really for some idea of direction, but this is quarter to midday UK time. And if you're new with us, welcome. And if you've been with us a while or you want to revisit in a 30-minute video of how I trade, what I do, what I look for, etc., then the most recent podcast I recorded with Etienne Crete a few weeks ago from Desire to Trade, I have posted in the blog. So within half an hour, you get the full Monty, everything that we do. Tiennis yesterday, of course, has posted his analysis for the week ahead. And then we had Ashley's summary from last week where it was a losing week. And as we know, losing is all part of the game, unfortunately. So as ever, I start with the dollar index and looking at where the big money is flowing. Clearly, we were in an uptrend from September through to January, which was easy. We just wanted to buy the dollar on pullbacks. Since then, we looked as though we were going to be on a pullback. That is now broken. So now we're starting to look short. And I have fibbed this from the recent high to the recent low. And the areas of interest for me to be selling the dollar would be anywhere around 105. And I would expect price to struggle at 103 because it tends to stop at the whole numbers, and certainly at the 200 EMA. So these are the areas of interest for me for the week. I'll show you Forex on MetaTrader in a moment. NASDAQ, so that broke. This was the area. I think when I recorded that video, I was saying this was the area I expected a reaction, and we got it. We got a mini bounce back, dead cat bounce, now gone through. This really is the make your mind up time for the NASDAQ. We are below the EMAs and everything's rolling over. If it was to drop, you have to start looking left. Well, where is it probably going to bounce again? So I am currently looking to buy some options, and that will be something to cover at a later date. Again, the S&P, same pattern, done the same thing. Bounced on Friday off the 55 EMA. Is it going to retest 5,680 and drop further? We do not know until later today. And the Russell I was showing you earlier, a few months ago, I said, with all that gone on last year with the S&P, most of the growth was in the magnificent seven tech stocks. And I was watching the Russell for the smaller, the other 409, well, this is 2,000, but looking at the smaller companies. And I was saying, until or unless it broke the 55 and the trend line, I was starting to think that this would be negative for the dollar. So it came down, it hit my alarm the other day, and it bounced almost to the pip off the 200 EMA, which is why I use these. So all of this lot, once the New York market's open, I will start to try guesstimate where the big money's going. Gold, for those of you with me in 2022, when I explained why I was buying at 1800, I have continued to buy, and that has been explained in lots of blog posts. And we broke 3,000 on Friday, very short period of time. It's having another go this morning, and there are actually lots of clues that gold and silver could keep going this time. Fingers and toes crossed for those of us who are in it. Silver, I started buying this at $16 and $17, and again shared that with you all the way up. And I was buying at $22 back in 2023. And again, these are all recorded in the blog from going back for the years and years and years. And then when it broke through, it did a breakout, did a pullback. This is what we're trading all the time. It did a breakout, it did a pullback. And I take profits along the way. I am now physically into physical gold and silver, and at least 25% of my portfolio is now tied up in gold and silver. And then, as I've shown you before, made actually more money on the mining stocks, and I am actively looking at them again, and I will share a few of those with you tomorrow. This was the best of the lot. This was the one I bought in January of 2024. Silver went up 45%. This went up 260%. Why? Because if they've got all the mining and they've got all the infrastructure, if they can break even or make a profit down here at the COVID low, then as price goes up and up and up, they should be making more money. And it means basically that silver in the ground is at a discount. So with my investing folks, I explained in February, I was buying again at $4. And I only buy a stock if I feel it can make at least 25% in a short period of time. I actually added some more here. I mean, bear in mind, I bought all the way up and took profits at various stages as well. And again, a buy I had in here. So all of that, trying to work out where the big money's going, where's it flowing, and what's that going to do for Forex. Then I have to have a look at the news. And so the news there, it's one of those weeks. There's lots of it. And today at 12:30 before the US markets open, we've got retail sales, which is not very helpful. And so that could affect the dollar because, let's face it, folks stop spending money in the shops. That's bad for the GDP. Conversely, if it's better than expected, it's good. So that is important, which is why it is red flag. Then tomorrow, if you're trading the Canadian dollar, be very careful because they have lots of CPI news, inflation news coming out all at the same time. Wednesday, then we've got the BOJ at it. The big one for the week is the Fed fund rate. What is Powell and crew going to do? And even more so, what are they going to say in the statement? Because the press are going to throw them questions about President Trump that he's not going to like, and we'll have to see how he dodges those. So for me, tomorrow, I am not in a rush to trade the dollar. And if I'm in the dollar before this lot comes out, I would be looking to close positions, or certainly, if well in profit, to have the stops to entry plus, because this could be extremely volatile. And many times I wait until London opens the following day because the London boys have all gone home for the tea by this point. Thursday, it's the chance for the AUD. It's in the middle of the night. So if you're trading the AUD, then you're okay with AUD news. But of course, you've got the dollar news going on all week. And then on Thursday as well, it's the time for the Brits. So what they're going to do with the bank rate, they're going to cut it, they're going to hold it. What's Bailey going to say? Etc. Friday, I don't trade, but it's back to Canadian news as well. So let's have a look at the FX charts now. So I've just shown you the dollar index. So we were fibbing this in an uptrend. It was clearly in an uptrend, and then the trend line broke. So that was a clue. Then I had the fib up here. This was 78.6 going up. Now I have to fib it going down. And here the EMAs are different on the TradingView as they are on MT4 because of the way they pull the data in. But I have here the 200 EMA at 102.30, and I just shown you before I would be thinking of shorting the dollar if it gets back up at 1.475, and I would be anticipating a bounce here. So that would be a take profit if you were long the euro, the pound, etc. This is gold and silver, as I have just shown you. Bitcoin, I am a big fan of Bitcoin. There is a section within our website for crypto. And if you go in here and you have a look under here, there is a recording of a presentation I did in October 2020 when I explained why I thought Bitcoin and crypto could be the best financial decision of your lifetime. And boy, was I right. And the reasons are still there. So if you don't understand crypto and you've hesitated thus far, make sure to watch that video. Back to these charts. So Bitcoin and Ethereum consolidating again. Ethereum's dropped even lower. It's out of favor at the moment, but the contrarians amongst us will be buying and accumulating at the moment. Dollar Swissy. So we've just seen it with the dollar index. We're looking for a pullback. The bigger pullback would be back up here, but on a day trade, here will be the average daily range if we get up to 88.75. So I would be interested to short here. Could have a relatively aggressive short stop just above the whole number. So you'd have the whole number, the trend line, 55 EMA, 200 EMA, all going on in the same area. So don't expect massive moves, but you could be aggressive or you could be more conservative even at 60 pip stop, and you still have the potential to make twice the risk. So that's an area certainly of interest for that one. USD CAD, I can't trade it because I don't have 5 reasons. And again, we've just seen there's a lot of news. I would leave it well alone for now. Euro, well, the thing that strikes me now, I would not be longing the euro now because the probability is it's probably going to struggle. And look what it did. 3 weeks ago, it stopped to the pip at the 200. 2 weeks ago, it stopped, last week rather, stopped eventually to the pip at the 200 and spiked to the 55. At the moment, the probability of this is it could go up, it could go down. I have no idea, and therefore I have not got the 5 reasons. My entry for this is a pullback down here. And again, if you're new, you go, well, the bloke's mad, it'll never get back down here. Yet, we will see often. This was a move here. That was a 250 pip move in a day. So down here is a very good risk-reward ratio. I have a 45 pip stop for a potential 180, possibly 250 gain. I have the 78.6 fib to put the stop behind. I've got the whole number. I've got the weekly 55. I've got the daily 200 in an uptrend. That for me is an A grade. I would take that every time. just above the whole number, remember. Pound, now on the other hand, it's the same pattern on the pound, but I showed you this last week. The issue is the best place would be down here, 50 pip stop, but this is in the way, the monthly 55. Look what it did a week ago. It stopped to the pip at that area, and it's also been a previous area of major support and resistance, and therefore the euro is the better option for me. Euro pound, we are in a downtrend. This is a pullback into an EMA. You could fib from there to there, and you've got 78.6 fib, 55 EMA, and a trend line, and yet it's not enough for me. But you've actually got the whole number as well. And the reason why I don't like it is you've got here just below the 200 EMA, and then down here you've got the 50% fib and the 55. An aggressive long for this would perhaps be here, or again take the stop. If it's not taking the stop too low now, it's too much. This is an area of interest to watch. Up here, where am I going to put the stop? Do I put it here? Do I put it there? Do I put it there? There's no risk reward. Areas of interest only. Dollar yen. Now this is the one of the ones I was showing in that Etienne Crete video, and what I explained in there was at the time of recording the video a few weeks ago, price was down here, and I explained that this was the pullback for me, an A grade, and it worked perfectly. So price broke out, came back into the area. I had the stop, same place I think where it is now, 60 pips away. I had an initial target of 200. By which point here, and I think I recall making the video, took 80% off here because it was major previous support and resistance and left the balance to run. Check back in the blog to see the result. So once again, I am looking for a pullback into the same area. I've got 150.7, so I've got the whole number above where I can place my stop. It is a bigger stop, I believe. Oh, I've gone for 70 odd pips, and that's about the most I will go for. But I've still got the potential 1 to 2.5, 1, 2, 3 or 4, and then this 55 is going to come in a little lower if this stays down here. So what I would hope from this would be a spike from news of 250 pips. The average has been 150. If it's going to bounce anywhere and this lot moved down, I would be tempted with that one as well. AUD. So the AUD, I'm struggling for 5 reasons in truth, but it is a major area of previous support and resistance. We know we've got that Aussie news. You got the 200, you got the 55, you got the whole number, I believe, for the stop as well. No, I've not gone that far. It's an area of interest. It's a B grade. New Zealand dollar is very similar, but the 255 split, I would prefer the AUD when they're both together. Then the pound CAD. Pound CAD, you start to be of interest down here. NZ yen, no. Messi can't make its mind up. CAD yen, no. It's in the middle of nowhere. All of this lot, I don't like the look of it, especially the pound yen. It's just stuck in the EMAs. What you want with this system, you want the price to clearly break out, and it would also mean then it would be breaking a weekly trend line as well as clearly break out, then pull back, and then be able to use the EMAs for the stop. Now, at the minute, the EMAs are 120 pips away. It's too far. If this breaks higher, these will move higher, and then that could be an opportunity next week. Pound Swissy. I had this the other week. I missed it last week. I can't remember why. Wasn't focusing. It was a perfect M2 entry here. I think the stop was down here, and I know some of you caught it. 50 pip stop, potential overall 180 pip gain, spit and feathers. I think I'd actually just forgot to place the order in truth. So for this week, I would be interested to long this at 1.1340. Now the stop then becomes an issue because if I go all the way, it's 70, but I've still got the potential to make 1 to 2. The other option is you go down to a 4 hour and see if you can find multiple reasons of confluence in here. So that is it. On the pound New Zealand, I have an alarm set at 121, well, it's actually 122.20. That's an area of interest for later in the week. So there's lots of possibilities, but there's equally lots of them that are like, no, no, no. This is Euro Swissy. Now, this is an example of splitting a trade in half because ideally you like it to come down here. Well, this is a concern, but the danger is it's going to do what it did last time. It's going to come down here, touch, and off you go and not catch the better area. So what I've done here, I've split the order in half. You have to reduce the lot size accordingly. And from here, I have a 45 pip stop, 48 pip stop for a potential 150 gain. So that's good. and I'm below the 61.8, the 50% fib, the 55 EMA, 255 is moving higher. So that's a good opportunity. Then the other one, this is the preferred entry would be here. Now you could be equally aggressive here and only have a 25 pip stop. I've gone ultra conservative down here. So that would be your call. But that's how we do it. That's what we look for. In the meantime, be patient, wait for price to come to you, and don't be in a rush. Do not be a busy fool. Hope that helps. Catch you later.